Hey, it's Shay. I'm here with the video on my take on marriage, my experience on when I was married. So I'm gonna jump right in. So when I got married, I was 20 years old, and the person I was married to, the guy, he was about 26. So not a big age difference, but yeah, I just jotted down a few questions that I thought generally people would want to know. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm doing. So why did I get married? So when I met the person that I married, um, things moved really fast. So we met in June of 2010, moved in together by August 2010, and was married by November 2010. So, a lot of people back then and even now would ask, well, what was the rush? Um, I met him, after a while of getting to know him and, stuff like that. There was a situation that came up and, it was either we're getting married or we're parting ways. And I was just like, well, we're getting married. Like, listen, anyone who knows me knows that if I say I'm doing A, I'm doing A. And it's happening, period. Like, it's happening. So I was like, yeah. Looking back, I'm like, okay, girl. But, so yeah, why I got married, was there was a situation that came up and it was, you either down or you ain't. And not only that, but I grew to really have a liking and even grew to have love for him. So yeah, that's why it happened. I'm gonna spill some tea, but I don't want to spill too much of the tea because it's my experience, but at the same time I have to respect the persons who are involved. I mean, yeah. So some other questions that I wrote down that generally people might want to know is what was, our religious background. So I grew up Seventh-day Adventist, Christian. He was Christian, but I don't really remember what the specific, denomination or, I don't remember. This was back in 2010. So we in 2024. I ain't remembering all of that. But so, yeah. And, so that was my religious background. What else? How long did the marriage last? So we were married and I initiated the separation just before it hit a year. So right before it hit a year, in 2011, I initiated it. And the divorce happened, the separation and divorce happened, and divorce was official by August of 2013. So married in November 2010, separated by, I would say, October 2011, and officially divorced by August 2013. So things moved up very quickly. I'm just looking down to see any other questions or thoughts I might have. So issues in the marriage, why did it end? So people might say, girl, you went through that risk of moving fast and then it ended? What happened? So yeah, so what happened was the tea is there was a lot of confusion, there was a lot of dishonesty, there was a lot of outside influences. So I was sharing all my business with my friends and my family. He was sharing as much as he was denying the business with his friends and my family and discussing things with them that I didn't know and later on would find out. Things like finances, things like the legal things that were happening in the marriage. And the thing about me is whether I'm in a romantic relationship or a friendship or whatever situation I'm in, if I know you and I say I'm for you and we locked in, we locked in. Like, I don't like the whole, you say we're locked in, but you're going to discuss things over here and I'm going to hear it back months later. Like, no, 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 no. If I find out things like that, like we have a problem. We have a problem. You're gonna eventually see and know that I know we have a problem. So there was a lot of that happening. You know, I was young, I was, you know, changing and growing as a young woman, and you know, so yeah, the marriage ended because of that. And I think that the marriage also ended on my end. I initiated it to end, and I think it also ended on my end too, because I felt that there was a lack of connection. You know, I think there was a lack of genuineness and authenticness, and I'm really big on that, whether it's in a romantic relationship, friendship. Like, if I feel like the connection between me and somebody is not like on 1,000% authentic, I'm gonna fall all the way back. You're gonna know, like, you're gonna be like, wait, when I met her, like, and now, yeah. So yeah. Some other questions would be, how was the process for the divorce? Now listen. One thing about getting married, it's very easy, right? You go, you pay for your marriage license, and you know, you, even if you want to get married at a courthouse or whatever, bada bing bada boom, you married. Divorce, oh no, the city, the state, they in your business. This is gonna be a process. It's processing. It ain't gonna be a in and out kind of thing. So it was a long process. And the funny thing is, it ain't funny. It was funny back. It's funny now. It wasn't funny back then. I think it was the lawyer, or she was a paralegal. I can't remember her specific, you know, professional title. But after I paid her the startup fee to process the divorce, girl ran off with my money. That's the tea. Couldn't find her, couldn't call her, couldn't get there, went to the office, she wasn't there. Like, because I pulled up, you ain't gonna run off with my money. And I'm just, she was in non-existent. And after tracking and trailing, I found out that, you know, she had run off, I don't want to get too deep into things because some legal things were involved, and I had to file, you know, a complaint with, I believe it was the Law Society of Upper Canada, if I'm saying all of that correctly. This was a while back, so you know, it's kind of hard to remember every specific detail. But and I don't even think I got back all that money, did I? Listen, the process for divorce, it ain't no game. All I can say is, if you're gonna get married, sit down and really go through if this is really what you need to be going through. Because the excitement and the thrill of getting married and having that status, but if things have to end, it's gonna get dirty. And the person who you met that was all smiles and it was, you know, sunshine and butterflies, it's gonna turn into fire, stone, and war. So what other things did I jot down in questions? Would I get married again? So in 2024, I would say maybe. Back then when it was happening, I was like, oh hell no, I'm not going through all of this chasing down legal people and to do this again. No. Now that it's been years and years and years and things have processed out, I would say maybe, but it would have to be like something that, there's a lot of things that I would be looking for and I'd be vetting, that I would never verbally say to anyone, not even the person who's the potential, you know, person. So there's certain things I'd be definitely looking for. And some of those things would be honesty and authenticity and yada, yada, yada. But would I do it again? Maybe, but it's really looking like, But love is a nice thing. Love is a great thing. Love is a nice and a great thing when it's done in the right way. in the honest way, in the authentic way, in a connected way, in a you locked in. It's me and you one-on-one, not me and you plus family member and everybody join in. And no. I'm trying to look to see what other questions did I jot down. My thoughts on marriage in 2024 is that, is marriage still worth it? I think it is, if, like I said, it's really for the right reasons. Now, a lot of people getting married for the status, for the gram, for social media, to say, you know, I'm a wife, you know, I'm a husband, and that's all cute. But after the wedding and all of that, a lot comes behind that. Marriage is like a business. It's a contract. You're signed. Like I said, to end it was like, listen, to end it, you would have thought I told them I wanted to become the president and they were trying to vet me. So, you know, marriage in 2024, I feel like a lot of people are getting married for that status. A lot of people are getting married for that ring, to throw that party. People are getting married for immigration status, green card. People are getting married to be, you know, the insurance, the will, old, you know, perspective, religious reasons, you know, cultural reasons. And that's fine, you know, not saying that that's wrong. You know, if those are things you want to still abide by, then that's fine. But in 2024, I feel like marriage is yeah, I just, my take on it is that if, you know, you really want to go into it, really have some sit down moments with yourself and with that, you know, person that you're going to be moving forward with, on a lot of the why you're doing this and what's going to happen before and after, and finances, and, you know, religion and spirituality, and how you're going to potentially raise children, and if you guys have a business, or, you know, different things. And sometimes, no matter how much you discuss things, when you get to that point, things change. But still having those discussions and having a little bit of an insight on that person's, you know, mindset is a little bit helpful. What else would I say? I would also say that, you know, just don't let religion or culture, you know, hold you trapped in something that might be toxic. I feel like, for me, when I said, you know, I'm gonna get, you know, divorced, people were like, oh, you can't get divorced. You know, the church and religion and the Bible, and, you know, you're only supposed to get divorced if it's for infidelity. And with me, I look at things like, you don't need things to be crumbling and burning to the ground to get out. If it's affecting your mental health, your spiritual, you know, well-being, your financial well-being, if it's toxic, if it's abusive, if it's anything, it doesn't have to be somebody's cheating. You may want to figure out if you're going to be leaving. You don't want to stay until things are getting to the point where you literally have to be hanging on by a thread. So yeah, I'm trying to look to see what other points I might have. I don't know. I think if I did a live, y'all could ask me your questions. I could really get into things and stuff like that, because I did a recording previously and I know it was more detailed. But let me see. Yeah, I don't know. Y'all leave your questions, your comments, so I can maybe do another video, or even do a live. You know, we can really, you know, spill and sip some tea. But yeah, I would say so far, you know, that just stay true to you and really, really focus on your whys of you getting into marriage, if you're going to get into it, or a relationship. Don't let anything or anyone make you feel pressured. I think that was my biggest thing, is I felt pressured, and I feel like I didn't even have the wedding I really wanted to have. When you look back on the pictures and you look back on the memories, you want to be able to say like, yeah, I did that. We did that. I feel like I look back and I was like, mind you, people who were around at the time will say, we tried to bring you back in, girl. But I was really like, no, I'm doing this. But you live and you learn. It happened. I think other questions I get would be, do you regret getting married? I would say yes and no. I would say I don't regret it because it really helped to build me up. It really helped to, it gave me a lot of character, trust me, especially dealing with the legal aspects of things. And the other part of me that does regret it is because I was like, this was a lot of wasted time and money. Like, I could have invested this time into something else, and just save myself a lot of, the confusion and just going through everything. And, it does affect you. It leaves a bit of a stain, and, yeah, but I don't know. I'm trying to look to see what other questions I have. And for other people who have said, like, what advice can I really give? I wasn't really married that long. To me, I feel like you don't need to be married for 20 years to have great advice. I feel like if you went through something and it didn't work, you have you have a bit of knowledge on, the do's and don'ts and things of that nature. So, I feel like the situation, would help to make you wiser. And it definitely has done that for me. And yeah, so I don't really have anything else to touch on. Y'all drop your comments and your questions below, and I'll see if I'll do another video or even a live. And hopefully this was not just some tea that y'all can sip, but hopefully this was some great tips that y'all can go off with. So until my next one, see y'all later.